camera. How does that look? Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Grace and today I am doing a college reveal. I have been waiting to do this video for so long, but I wanted to be 100% confirmed with the school I would be going there. Just in case everything changed, especially with everything going on right now. But I have confirmed and I'm so excited to share what school I'm going to. Since I only applied to 3 schools, I'm going to give a backstory about how I got down to only applying to 3 schools. And then go through why I knocked each of them out, which will be good, I think, because each of these schools was a top choice at one point for a different reason or another, and I will share that with you. To start, I applied to, they are in the order I applied to Shippensburg first, then Mason, and then Longwood. These two are in-state schools, and Shippensburg is an out-of-state, and then these two were rolling, and this one was early action. If you don't know the difference between rolling, early action, regular, and early decision, early decision means you are 100% committed to that school. If they let you in, you cannot get out of it. Early action means you get your decision the same time as the early decision people, but you are not committed to that school. You still get your choice. Regular decision usually comes out around March, and that's when you find out, especially usually your final application dates are sometime in January or February, and then rolling means you can apply usually the summer beforehand up until their final date, and you find out along as you apply. So I knew what schools I got in, all the schools I got into by Christmas, which was really, really nice. So I had a lot of time to make my decision. Now, backstory, before this year, I really didn't know what schools I was applying to. These two were like not on my radar at all. I pretty much always knew I was going to apply to Longwood because my dad went there, but my dad also went to JMU. He transferred, so before this, my heart was like dead set on JMU. I have a JMU shirt in there too. That's our marching band. I had my heart set on it. At the same time, I also had my heart set on being a band teacher, and JMU has a really, really good music education program, as well as the marching band, and it was one of the only schools I had ever heard about, because it's a very big school for my area. I'm from Northern Virginia. JMU pulls a ton of students from my school every single year in my area. So it's one of our big state schools. It's like Tech or UVA. There are big state schools. That's where everyone ends up going. Mostly Tech and JMU. That's where most people end up going. So for me, it was like, oh, I'll be going there too with them. I quickly figured out JMU was going to be way too big for me. I would not have done well at a big school at all. And JMU is actually smaller than Tech and a lot of the other schools. So considering that, I would not have done well at a big school. So all these schools, besides Mason's actually huge. But anyways, JMU got knocked out because of its size. I realized it really wasn't what I was looking for. So I found out about Mason because my whole family went there. My mom went there, my grandmother went there, my aunt went there, my uncle went there. My dad went there for his graduate, and my grandmother also went there. So Mason was a big family one. I had never considered applying to Mason because Mason is 45 minutes away from my house. It's very close. That's why I hadn't really gotten turned on to applying to Mason until this year. And all of a sudden I realized I don't want to be super far from home, and it became a huge anxiety leaving. So when I was at Mason, I was like, oh, it's easy. I could come home whenever I want. That's great. So that was a really big turn on for me applying to Mason. Shippensburg is an out-of-state school. I actually learned about Shippensburg from my history teacher, Mr. LaHue. I researched it, and I'm probably going to get like so much slammed for saying this. I realized it was kind of like a smaller JMU. Just with the layout of the area around it, the college itself is completely different. I really liked the school. These two are medium-sized colleges, both of them, but that one, I really liked the school. I loved the layout. I loved when I visited it. So that was a really big school that I really liked. Longwood, I love this school. I love the layout of it. It's a very nice, it's a good size. These are very comparable in sizes, but Longwood's campus is stunning. Absolutely beautiful. And I really liked the school as well. So as you can see, I really liked all of these schools, and they all were a top choice. But now we are going to go into me knocking out my decision. So the order I applied to them in was I applied Shippensburg because they waived my fee when I visited if I applied that day. So that's why it was the first I applied to. The next week I applied to Mason because I decided all of a sudden I was going to apply early action because I didn't want to wait for my decision. And then I applied to Longwood last because I wanted to interview to get in, and they were doing interviews at my school, so I just had a later date I had to apply by. So yeah, I found out that one early November, this one I found out late November, that one I found out in January. So now we're gonna go into this, me like knocking out schools. So the first school to get knocked off my list is Mason, and that was because I got deferred. I did not get in right away, I got waitlisted, but Mason was a top choice for a little bit, but it wasn't after I had seen that school. But in general, Mason is 45 minutes from my house, so if I had gone to Mason, I would have been there all the time, like home all the time. I probably would have lived in my dorm room a little more than the other two schools. It was setting me up to be very pulled back. I got deferred because my SAT scores, I don't test well, so my SAT scores, they weren't where they needed to be for the school. So I did think I was going to get deferred, but by the time I did get deferred, it wasn't my top choice anymore. So that is why Mason got knocked out first. But now we got down to my final two schools. Now choosing between these two was very hard. They were very comparable in price. Originally they were not. Shippensburg was $33,000 originally, and that was way out of the budget for my family, but especially because I'm going into teaching and it doesn't pay a ton. But they ended up dropping my price to $25,000, which was very close to this. So that was really, really nice. They're very comparable schools, size-wise, program-wise. It's just, Longwood is more well-known in this area, so that was a big thing with that. Overall, I think Longwood's a little bit more well-known than Shippensburg. But I already do have a guaranteed job leaving, so that wasn't exactly something that I was super duper stressed about. My county guarantees us positions coming back as teachers, which is really nice. But anyways, they both have intramural sports that aren't like the official college teams, but you still get to play, which I liked. They had activities. Longwood actually has a ton of activities for students. Shippensburg did not have that, but Shippensburg had the marching band and more of the band stuff, where Longwood does have a pep band, but you can't audition your first year because they have a rule that your first semester you can't apply, you can't try out for anything, which was kind of a really big letdown for me because I want to be involved in the band at whatever school I go to. So without further ado, also the history programs at both of these schools were fantastic. I love Longwood's history building, it's stunning. Overall, it was a very, very hard decision, but I ended up knocking out Longwood, and this was a really hard choice for me because Longwood was someone my family was pushing me towards. It came down a lot to distance. Shippensburg is 2 hours away, while Longwood is it's a very easy 2 hours. Longwood is a very rough 3-something hours away. It's not an easy drive, it feels long, and that's not something I wanted because I was having a lot of anxiety with leaving home. I really did love the school. I think I would have been happy at either of them, but without further ado, that means I will be attending Shippensburg University of Pennsylvania. I am so excited. It is out of state, but it was at a very good cost. And I'm just overall really excited. I already have my roommate and I know what dorm I'm in. Praying that I will move in on August 9th for marching band. I'm auditioning for the drumline there. Overall, I'm so excited. I love a lot of the people I have met that are going to the school, and it's just, I really like the community there. Like I said, this was a very hard decision for me to make, but once I made it, I knew it was the right decision for me. So I'm super duper excited, and huge shout out to my family for being so supportive because I was really, really nervous to talk to them about what school I wanted to go to, especially my dad, because I know how much my dad was rooting for Longwood because he went there, but overall I had to make the best decision for me. And that was going to be Shippensburg, and I'm so excited. It has every aspect I was looking for in school, so I am so excited. Get ready for a ton of college videos coming up because I cannot wait to film more. I know in a vlog this week I showed some of the stuff I have for college already, even though there's no guarantee I'm moving in the fall this year because of COVID-19 and everything going on. I'm still preparing, getting excited, and treating it like it would be normal, and I have a ton of time on my hands, so definitely get ready for a lot of college videos. So yeah, I'm super duper excited for everything to come. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!